All right, y'all, what's up? I don't know what interview this is, but y'all, number 4 or 5, but we are here. I'm with Jarrod, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're here at his shop. Introduce yourself, man.
Man, Jarrod Hollins, Dynamic Cuts LLC, located 751 East 63rd Street.
All right, so y'all, it's a whole different interview. He's actually going to be lining me up while we're doing his interview.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
I know I got to do crazy stuff all the time. So, Jarrod, let's tell us about you. We are in his shop, y'all. Y'all for 63rd Street, right?
Yes, sir. Right off 63rd and Rock
All
here.
right. Tell us about you. When did you start cutting hair?
I started cutting when I was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that may sound cliche, but no joke, man. Growing up, man, moms was like, hey, you got a choice, man. You can figure it out on your own, or
Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
You know, and Lord knows, man, we want to look fresh on the first day of school.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to look clean, head,
Right.
toe, you know it, man. But there was one time in particular, she said, you got a choice. You can either get tennis shoes for the first day of school, or you can go get a haircut. I can give you money to go get a haircut. And of course,
Wow. You
I
wanted
said-
your tennis shoes.
Hey, I wanted some kicks. Yeah,
So you
yeah.
had to learn.
Yeah, yeah.
You had to learn how to cut hair by yourself.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So I guess you say, when was your first? Was it you had to do it on yourself?
Yeah, I had to guinea pig myself. My stepfather actually was like, I asked him if he knew how to cut, and he was just like, because I seen him cut his hair a few times, and he was just
Right.
like, yeah, why? You know, man.
Right.
Let's just say, man, he wasn't adamant about teaching me at first because he thought I was joking. And I was like, well, mama said she can't give me no shoes this year if I get a haircut. So he was like, and you want the shoes? I'm like, yeah.
And so you got your hair cut. That's what
Yeah,
it started.
yeah.
Well, I got a funny story about, when we all get our mamas or daddies clippers.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get my line one time, and I know anything about lining up your hair. And I nicked my hair up. Wow. I was trying to cut my hair for the first time, so I said, you know what, that's not my field.
Right.
What do you specialize in?
Man, you name it, I do it. Quiet as kept, man, man, I'm all about pushing quality day in and day out, man. I've always said that. That's one of my biggest things. Quality, but, outside of quality, customer service, man.
Right.
That's huge. To an extent that it ain't no knock to anybody in this industry, anybody outside of this industry, but we get away from that whole thing of customer service because we feel like, oh, this client needs me.
Right.
It's 1,000,001 barbershops, beauty shops around here.
What's
Clients
gonna
can go
make you
elsewhere.
different?
And you gotta find something that's unique.
Right.
They gotta find something that's unique about you to keep
Right.
keep them coming. So
Right. So you do all kind of styles, right?
I do
That's
designs.
like your style.
One of my main specialties is tapers. Anything dealing with fading, blending. Not just, I don't want to put myself in a box, not just tapers, but like I said, I can do it all. Like I said, fades, designs, anybody, I ain't gonna say anybody, a lot of people can do even Stevens, but hot towel treatment, steam treatment. We slowly but surely walking back into the facial department here soon, real soon, so be on the lookout for that.
For facial.
Yes, sir.
Wow, a lot of people offer that, man.
And I'm telling you, that's one of the things that people ask about a lot. A few of my clients ask about, I should say, but people ask about it more times than others. I mean, do you do this? And you'd be amazed how many, women, men, not just women, men really want to just come in and relax. I know men that come in and just get the hot towel treatment.
Right, because I always thought the barber shop or the beauty shop is like your place where you just focus on you.
Yeah.
A lot of times, especially those mamas who's got all the kids and everything, they always focusing on, you know what I'm saying, everybody else.
Right.
What makes you different?
What makes me different, Quez? I'm a mad scientist when it comes to this barber industry, man. No joke, man. And what I mean by that, once again, ain't taken away from nobody else, but man, my wife will tell you, man, that if I put on speaker right now, she'll tell you morning, noon, and night, I'm always working on something in my industry, in my field, man. But one of the biggest things, man, is my listening. I have phenomenal listening skills, and what I mean by that, a client can tell you to do this, but I'm sorry, I said that wrong. A client will ask you to do this. I do exactly what they ask me. Whether I feel like it's right or wrong, and not necessarily right or wrong, if I feel like it's not going to look right, I'll put my emphasis on it and let them know, hey, this might not look right this way.
At least you said.
Let's do this. Yeah, and let them know. And they be like, hey, I want to go with this anyway. Like, I've had clients tell me before, quiet as kept, push my line back so it can be real crisp.
What?
Yeah, no joke, man. No joke. And he said, I'm trying to get to a business meeting. I need it looking real good. I'm going to be sitting in front of a lot of important people. I'm like,
so
okay. I did what he said, and he thanked me. And when he came back, he was just like, I kind of understood what you were saying now. And I'm like, now you get it. But that's one of the biggest traits about me, you know, like I said, just listening.
Right. Okay, so I would say, what can you tell somebody else? Let's talk about the struggle. What has brought you here? How did you have to get, what brought you, you know what I'm saying, to right here? What you had to go through to get to where you are now?
Man, I had to grind. I went through a lot, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When you talking about sleepless nights, that is real. That's real, man. It's gonna be some nights you lose sleep. Me and you was talking about before we tipped off the interview, man. It's times you don't eat, you know? And one of the biggest things, man, is, man, you have to have ambition to be in this field and also survive. I just got a call last week from a family member, and she was like, hey, she asked me something similar, you know, what can I tell, you know, a beautician that's trying to get up in this game? And I'm like, she's got to be hungry and not just say it, you got to live it. You really got to live it. Man, you smell it, you see it, you want it, go get it. Sometimes you ain't going to see it. It's like air, but we believe it's there. So you got to go get it, man. And there's times I was out there, blood, sweat. I'm not going to sit here and say it was days I cried by no means, but it was definitely, you know, some sweat, man, to the core. To where I was out there, man, I'll never forget one day in particular, it was 110 heat index, and it was unbearable, man. But I was like, man, I haven't had a freaking client today. And that was when I first got in the industry. I didn't have a client, man, so I'm like, I'm not about to be starving no more like this. And I remember them days when I get laxed or, you know, get too comfortable. I remember those days to push me.
That you got to grind.
Yeah, you have to.
And a lot of times people think that their gifts, you know what I'm saying, is going to just, you got to work it, man.
That's a must.
And everything that I always learned is we believe something, and the faith that works is dead, as we all know.
Right.
So, like, you have to put in the work.
Without a doubt.
You got to put in the work, man. So, to that young guy who's coming up, what would you tell him right now?
Man, hey, number one, write down your goals and your plans every day. I write my goals. Man, I got a notebook. Excuse me.
Keep a notebook too, man. Keep a notebook.
Man, every day I write my goals down, and I ain't joking.
Yes.
And quiet as kept, man. Don't get steadfast on trying to finish every goal. You're not going. Your goals ain't meant to be completed every day. If you complete them, phenomenal, man. Hey, thumbs up to you. But they ain't meant to complete every day. Just having that plan in place. Have a plan in place and then execute, man. Execution is, man, that's important. Right. I don't just say that word. Anybody that knows Jarrod Hollins knows I execute. I execute. I done battled through some stuff outside of barbing that people know about. You know, some people don't know about with my sickness, my illness. But all in all, man, you gotta have willpower, man, and have faith.
That's what it's about, having faith.
Have that faith.
So let's talk about this hair show. That's dope too.
Let's
go.
Coming
up. Are you ready, man?
All right, man. I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
So, tell a little bit, you know, don't tell us everything. What is Jarrod going to bring to this That's Dope hair show too?
Man, I'm going to bring some heat. Real talk. And I don't say that arrogantly, just confident, but I'm going to bring some heat. Watch the recent interview of a few people, but one in particular, Dexter, man, he said something that I can definitely relate to, man. Shout out to Dex and everybody else participating, man. Let's go.
He's on here too. He tapped in.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. Dexter said, man, hey, they gonna know I was there. And that's one thing I could agree with him on 100%. They gonna know without a doubt. You know, just bringing that flair, man, you know. So
I'm excited about the hair show. Like I said, where can they find you? Let them know where they can find you at, man.
Man, 751 East 63rd Street, 64110 KCMO. Phone number 913-284-5196. You can also find me on social network, Jarrod Hollins, Jarrod Hollins. And you can find me on Instagram at Kansas City's Village. And also at Dynamic Cuts, LLC.
All right. Again, I see I can't even point. There we go. Again, y'all, I'm Quez from Quez Presents. You can find me all everywhere for Quez Presents. QuezPresents.com. Get your tickets. He even has tickets, you guys. All the barbers in the show got tickets. Get your tickets now. Get them online, all right? Peace, y'all. We out.
Peace.
But, like, people love hearing what you went through because there could be somebody else that's dealing with the same thing or that has dealt with the same thing.
Right.
Like you just saying that right there, like no.
Yeah. You know, like I said, because the reason Quez said I don't bring it up much, and I've had people numerous times even saying, I was recently in the hospital. I got hospitalized last Saturday, just dealing with these vertigo symptoms. But they got them stabilized to where I can function and everything work and all that. So that helps me out a lot. But Saturday, it was to the point I thought I was dying again. Boy.
What can I ask? What I love asking questions.
Yeah.
What kind of cancer was it?
I had a myxoid liposarcoma. I tell folks, if you want to picture it, man, the way I described it to a client, he said, man, he broke out in goosebumps. Yeah. And I told him, he started looking at me talking. He said, look at your arms in. He seen my arms flaring up in goosebumps also, because it still brings chills to me that I even had cancer. But I had a myxoid liposarcoma, and I tell folks, picture like a chicken breast, a boneless chicken breast, just split in half, open, with tentacles on it, man, just eating your, man, when I say it, they said it ate 50% of my muscle up. They took a chunk of my leg out, no joke. But they called it, man, all praise to the Most High, right before it came above my waistline, because, you know, cancer spreads aggressively. Yeah. So it started spreading, and what's crazy, Quez said, is I had it for a year and didn't know it. I thought it was a torn meniscus, you know, because I was on the court and couldn't cut.
Right.
But I'm like, dang, what's going on? And I squatted one day, and my leg was real tight. I'm like, yeah, it's torn. Kept asking my brother, hey, man, you had any injuries? What's going on with my leg? And he was just like, man, dude, I don't know, man. Next thing I know, asked wifey, man, look at my leg, tell me what's up. She checked it out, told me to lay down on my stomach and roll over on my, I was on my back. She told me to roll over on my stomach. Man, I think she took a picture and she told me, she instantly said, you got to go to the ER ASAP. This ain't right. I mean, as my mother described it, she said it was like elephantitis, man. And I started wearing baggy clothes so people wouldn't see it, man. But yeah, it wasn't an aggressive cancer. It was aggressive enough to where it could have took me out, real talk. But, man, just glad the doctors, man, did their job. I didn't have to do treatment at all. No radiation, no chemotherapy. I just
cry here, man.
Man, no, I wouldn't do that to you, Quez. Hey, real talk. But yeah, it was scary for me too. I ain't gonna lie. But as people said, I never showed how scared I was. I never showed my tears until I was behind closed doors with my wife. And when I say my wife's seen everything, shout out to my wife, my daughter, my family.
Yes.
Look, if I gotta pay y'all to do another one,
you're good.
What I gotta do?
It's going in there. It's going in there.
Nah, just quiet as kept, man. Like I said, man, I had a phenomenal support system. Shout out to my wife being a nurse. You know, she was doing her digging the day they diagnosed me, and I told her. Because when I got off the phone with the doctor, I actually quiet as kept. I cursed the doctor out because I called him twice. He didn't answer, and I'm like, why you didn't pick up the effing phone, man? What's going on with you? And, you know, I was jacked up. And even when I came back in here, when I got the call, my client was like, you need a minute? Like, nah, I'm cool, because he didn't know what was going on. But, yeah, man, I had a great support system. My family, my wife, man, shout out to her to the core, man, because she dealt with a lot, man. I went through a depression, man. I thought I would never go through a depression, man, but I was up and down because, man, Quez said, anybody that know me know, I'm passionate, man, and I got a heart for helping people. And I would drain myself to help you, man. I'll make sure my cup is empty. I recently just did it with a few situations that I don't speak on. I don't post my good deeds online. People get on me about that. It's just me, though, you know. But, yeah, my wife, my daughter, shout out to her, man. She was the co-MVP, her and my wife. My aunties, my uncles, my cousins, my friends, you know, even people who reached out to me via social network. That really just showed love, man, and that helped me a lot. Like I said, that energy we just talked about prior to the interview, that energy is important, man. If you bring energy towards a situation like that, you're gonna beat it. You know, and even I got a close friend, man. She was hot at me. Her name's Tyrese, man, Tyrese Gregory. She was hot. She's like a sister to me. She was hot. I'm pretty sure my mother was hot. I'm pretty sure my aunties was hot because they're like, you hard-headed. You ain't gonna do treatment. My cousin Nikki, aka Shantaria Nicole, She was probably hot at me, you know. I know.
Believe, man.
I was believing, and I told her, man, I got this, y'all. I don't need no tears, no sympathy. I'm gonna beat this mug, man. Cancer chose the right person at the wrong time, so.
Cancer chose the wrong.
Hey, I'm telling you, so.
Man.
You know, man, that's big time. Yeah.
Every day is. See, this is what people don't. Every day is different for us. Like when we talk to a new barber, every person has a story. These interview goes beyond just us cutting for a show.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, getting all like.
Yeah.
But man, like your story is what's gonna help me believe even more.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna help somebody else, man. It could be another barber that might be dealing with the same thing.
Right.
So many people. It's about. And it sucks that sometimes we have to go through life to make us stronger. Things in life,
man,
situations,
that's true.
Man.
That's true.
And so I'm glad to have you part of the show, man.
Oh,
I'm glad to hear your
stories.
story. See, look,